A student of Empedocles? I hear that his views run counter to the Venerationists.
This is what being a scholar is about. A collision of ideas only occurs when there are differences in beliefs, and it is such collisions that lead to progress.
Yet, in my view, there are only right and wrong perspectives, neither of which can coexist with the other.
What radical thinking. I guess this is why the children of humanity always squabble with each other.
How boring.
You seem to be avoiding that Goldweaver person. Why don't you address her face to face?
I have nothing to talk about with her. Since you're in my brain, you can look for the reason yourself.
Oh, the leader of the Flame Chase journey and a demigod of Nestia.
You're really searching through my brain. What are you treating it as? Some sort of toy?
Regardless, you think quite highly of her, no?
That's because I'm a teacher who grades everyone fairly.
Lord Lygus and Lady Kindness are just ahead. I'll take my leave for now.
Welcome to the Demigod Council, esteemed guests.
Lord Anaxagoras, oh, I've heard so much about you. Head of the Nusporists of the Grove of Epiphany, notorious blasphemer, a Chrysos heir who bears Circe's core flame, a survivor of the Grove Calamity. Did I miss anything? Well, if so, please be so kind as to enlighten me.
Since Lady Kindness is already well acquainted with me, I won't waste any effort introducing myself again. But then again, perhaps the customs are different here. Back in my hometown, there is a form of etiquette known as honoring guests. The host will welcome their guest with warm hospitality by treating them to fine wine and a cozy bed. And yet, ever since I arrived, I have not been welcomed with warm courtesy or ceremonial gifts. Instead, I am met with intense scrutiny. Even more absurd, the host has sharpened their blade and instructed their servants to lie in wait in the shadows. Perhaps you intend to cut open my heart, retrieve the core flame, and then hold a grand feast for all of the guests.
Everyone, stand down.
Thank you for understanding. I am but a feeble scholar who is not used to the stench of avarice and blood.
No need to be humble, my lord. From my perspective, your courage and gumption are worthy of the reputation of the Seven Sages. Your bravery is more than adequate to accomplish our perilous endeavor.
So, you wish to start a war?
Well, since the Chrysos heirs are calling for war, we will respond in kind. Conflict is inevitable. Since Aglaya endeavors to suppress the virtuous commoners with blood of gold, we will not hesitate to display the rights and mettle the citizens of Akama are so entitled to. As to your question of whether peace is still a viable option, well, to that I can only say this. Everything hinges on the next citizens' assembly and whether they have a sudden epiphany amid the clamor of the masses. And since you, as a Chrysos heir, accepted our invitation, you have indeed given us a glimmer of hope.
What brazen arrogance. What you're saying right now is worlds apart from what you were saying before you retired your cleaners.
I don't deny it. After all, they're responsible for cleaning up any threats, and just a moment ago, you were on the side of the Chrysos heirs. But now that you're an ally of ours, we can continue talking somewhere else. As you know, these walls have ears. I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to discuss a treatise about the Venerationists with your teacher, Empedocles. Yet, it seems you subscribed to the Nusporists instead, Lord Anaxa. I've heard that this school of thought is one with many detractors.
It's normal for ideas to have supporters and dissenters, just like how there are two types of people in this world: geniuses and dimwits.
Welcome back to the hub of the Demigod Council, Lord Anaxagoras. Surely you remember that countless eloquent orators have stood in this spot before and emerged victorious by stoking public sentiment with their words. And yet there have also been innumerable blasphemous philosophers who set themselves up for failure because they refused to defend their actions. This tiny stage is the most profound embodiment of Akama in centuries. In 15 days, this site shall also become the most important, as well as the final turning point in Akama's history. May the both of us carry out our duties with honor and lead the masses back toward the Erechrysia, a golden age with no death, strife, or trickery.
Oh my, 15 days and nights. That aligns perfectly with the date of your demise. Could such a coincidence truly exist?
Using death to prove myself fits my intentions perfectly.
What strong conviction you have. As expected of the hero who dared to stand up to the Gold Weaver.
As expected, she misunderstands you.
That's enough, Lady Kindness. Dispense with the niceties. I only accepted your invitation so that I can serve the commoners alongside the members of the Council of Elders. Don't test my patience with such superfluous formalities.
Well, you say that now, but surely you also require my aid as well, so that you can stay alive even when being pursued by the Golden Thread?
You worry too much. She won't show her hand too freely, as she still needs to garner support from the masses at the Citizens' Assembly.
Even someone like me can tell that only a sliver of her humanity remains. Surely you're not asserting that she will definitely act in a rational manner.
As you're no doubt aware, Aglaya covets the core flame that I possess, which makes it the bargaining chip that allows me and the rest of you to negotiate with her. However, in return, I'll need the Council of Elders to support me as much as possible. Naturally, this includes the guards as well. You're well aware how valuable Cersei's core flame will be in the era Chrysia that you are desperately pursuing. Talk is cheap, so you'd better act prudently as well.
I understand. After all, this battle of wits is just a means for each party to acquire what they need. As long as your request is reasonable, the Council of Elders never shortchanges its allies. Since we're both intent on mutual cooperation, let's not mince words and just speak plainly to each other. Let us decide how much we can secure for ourselves and how much we're willing to sacrifice, like true philosophers, with our words and wisdom. Continuing from the earlier topic, let us discuss our common enemy, Aglaya. She is the second most experienced Chrysos heir across the whole of Akama, who has gradually lost her humanity to the ravages of time and the ablation of the core flame. A formidable opponent indeed. Admittedly, there is ample reason for her to take your life. Yet your previous reasoning is quite sound. As a seasoned political animal, it's unclear whether she will actually cross that irreversible boundary. Moreover, she still needs you alive so that the Titan's trial can be completed. Is there anyone present who can swear by the sacred vow of Kefali and guarantee that you weren't in league with that woman before coming here? Are you just trying to pull the wool over our eyes and aid her in her savagery?
I believe you're aware of Castorus the Executioner. Long before I returned to Akama, Aglaya had already dispatched her to monitor me. If I weren't able to reach this place in time, I would have been forced to meet Thanatos first. As compared to a comprehensive plan with uncertain results, if you decide to cut open my chest and remove the core flame, wouldn't that settle her nerves even more? Everything is in place. She just needs the right timing.
I understand what you mean. At the very least, the both of us agree that this tyrant who wallows in extravagance and greed is the greatest threat to achieving peace in Akama. The Council of Elders is willing to defend your right to live, just as we defend every oppressed citizen. However, I regret to say that sentiments in favor of the Chrysos heirs and Aglaya are only growing in magnitude. The peace that we are aspiring toward, as well as everything that we hold dear, will be destroyed completely. The city will be burned to ashes, and the citizens' blood will be shed. Tell me, what are you willing to do for our esteemed citizens so that they can vanquish the enemies of our fine city?
Although the circumstances are rather unfortunate from an objective point of view, it is an undeniable fact that ever since the Grove was attacked, I have become the de facto leader of the Grove. The Council of Elders needs more backing if it wishes to topple Aglaya, and it's evident that the Academy wields considerable influence. At the very least, I have served as the Grove's special envoy to Akama for a significant amount of time. Of course, this also means that I will hold a crucial vote at the Citizens' Assembly.
In the name of Kefali, Akama thanks you for your sincere and valuable thoughts. At this stage, it's clear that you and I understand the benefits to be won from this discussion. Let me put it plainly. The Council of Elders has always been renowned for its fairness, and that fairness is built on a foundation of sincerity. The Council of Elders has vowed to all citizens of Akaba that it will always remain loyal to them. As for you, my lord, how will you guarantee that you will be able to live up to such earnestness and will not betray Akama's indomitable citizens when the opportunity presents itself? Just as you now betray Aglaya when it suits you.
Surely you jest. My loyalty does not need to be proven. The fact that the Council of Elders is asking for proof of my loyalty is itself akin to a form of betrayal.
I am incredibly honored to have witnessed the both of you bury the hatchet in a civilized manner. However, I am afraid that I must interrupt for a brief moment. As the Theoros, I have observed the following. Lady Aglaya, the Goldweaver, is currently on her way to Dawncloud.
Oh. Well, I do believe that we might have a slight overabundance of guests today.
Feeling dissatisfied, Lady Kindness? Despite the Council of Elders' lofty residence on Dawncloud, it must still tolerate the whims of the Chrysos heirs.
So you were holding back just now. Seems like you are better at playing this game than I. In any case, I'm glad that she's arriving here. So tell me, Anaxagoras, now that you're an ally of mine, if Aglaya were to demand that I hand you over, what should I do?
You can do as she says. Tell her that the Council of Elders merely wished to chat with me and had no intention of offending her. However, by doing so, the authority of the Council of Elders will be as thin as papyrus that has been soaked in blood. Not only can it be destroyed at the slightest touch, but the Council will also lose possession of a valuable core flame. No, more like 2 core flames. After all, at the next Citizens' Assembly, that young lady who is synonymous with death will also be standing on our side.
Oh? How can you be sure of that?
Is that of importance to you? All you need to know is that I have a plan. In my opinion, you should be more worried about the impending threat. If Aglaya can seize me in full view of the masses today, she could also dismiss the entire Council of Elders in one fell swoop tomorrow. If that happens, the discussion that we've just had will turn into an utter joke instead. Is this the outcome that you wish to see, Lady Kindness?
Fine. I will handle this matter appropriately. But you do best to remember this. Fool the people and karma will be on your tail. I'll overlook it this time, but don't count on there being a next time. Unless, of course, you crave cruel punishment and consider suffering the perfect state to ponder the true nature of souls.
Well, what do you know? That happens to be one of my rare talents.
We shall see then.
I've got to say that you've managed to really impress me again. But shouldn't you be going after more?
Dying to know what I'm after, hmm?
I mean, I'm the reason Titan after all. It is in me to ask and seek answers.
Easy there. You'll learn the answers soon enough. I didn't bring it up with her purely because she doesn't have the means to give me what I truly want. It's as they say, onlookers see most clearly. The true masters of Dawncloud have always been the Theoros, who watches over everything.